4. Sustainability. Like we were talking about stability last module, last week, week 3. Now we are talking about how to be sustainable, how to sustain this and make this long-term stability. Long-term, we're talking long-term, and listen, it comes with action. So you need to be, you better put this into action, bro. Because I don't want you to go throughout the modules and the workbooks and then just completely leave it and just not do anything about it. Because freedom, like I said before, freedom comes through action. You can't fix something without putting in the work, my friend. So let's get started. Sustainable rhythm. Don't get burnt out. Intensity is not sustainability. When you do something and you want it to work out and make it long term, you don't do it just once in a big, intense way and expect that big, intense way to flow throughout the rest of the long term things that you got to do. Because it's daily small habits that cause big outcomes. You don't need to go to extreme measures in order to change and rewire your mind. Listen, this will cause burnout. It's literally going to cause burnout. So this week, listen, we're going to focus on how to make these changes sustainably. And I'm excited. And listen, this is the last week. You did it, bro. You reached the last week. Let's go. Give yourself a pat on the back. Let's go. Let's get started. The daily minimum. 1 breath, 1 truth, 1 check-in. Breathe. Speak the truth of God. Check in on yourself. Make sure you're in the spot where you got to be mentally. Ask yourself questions. Even check in with God. Check in with God. Like I said before, make God your foundation. Check in with the Lord. Consistent obedience in small moments prepares you for large tests. So it's not that a big, let me give an example with fasting. It's not like if you fast for 3 days and you're extreme in the fast and you don't eat or drink water, and automatically you'll be perfect at facing larger things. And the thing is, like I said before with the burnout, one tiny thing that you do but you don't do it consistently, like after a fast you need to put consistent action after the fast, but if you don't do that, it's not going to change anything and it won't prepare you for larger tests. Consistency. I know consistency is hard. I know it's hard, but it's worth it. But listen, consistency doesn't have to be hard, especially when you do something small, because even if you are 1% better every single day, just 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%, you'll be, I believe it's 37% better by the end of the year. In a year, you'll be 37% better. I believe that's it. I'm not sure if my math is mathing. But listen, consistency, even if it's small, even if it seems like it's not changing anything because of how small it is, it'll prepare you. So be consistent. Be consistent with the Lord. Be consistent in the small actions that you do. Be consistent in pausing. This will make burnout harder because consistency is easier when you do something simple and quick, not something big and extravagant. Trust. Now this is the weekly reset. Review your triggers, adjust scripts, and plan ahead. This is how you're going to be prepared for everything and anything, by planning ahead. This is how we're going to plan ahead. Make sure you know your triggers. 2, make sure you change your scripts. An example, scripts, like we said before, turn negative words to life-giving words. 3, plan ahead. When you know what triggers you, prepare for how to react when it happens. That's the weekly reset. Even at the end of the week, choose a day at the end of the week where you prepare basically like a plan. And make it short and simple, because I don't want you pushing 10,000 things on a whole plan and then you're like, I gotta do this. Nah, bro, make it simple. Just follow at least 3 triggers, 2 triggers, 1 script of what you, like we said before, what you repeatedly say to yourself. Turn that into a truth of God, like a contradiction. Use that as your main script. Plan ahead. When you know what triggers you, prepare for how to react. You got this. You got this, bro. Now, protect rest and boundaries. Rest is also a way to protect your stability. Because too much input increases anxiety. An example, when you protect your boundaries, anxiety can creep in when you let go of your boundaries. An example, saying no more. You need to say no. And I'm not going to lie to you, that's hard because as someone that used to be a people pleaser, it's hard to say no when you're a people pleaser. But when you are a people pleaser, it's not the best. But don't do something that you know you don't want to do just because you want to please other people. Because even something God's been showing me with people pleasing is that, are we on this earth to please the world, to please man, or to please God? That's the thing. I want you to remember that. Are you here to please God, or are you here to please the world? Are you here to please man, or are you here to please God? Speak up for yourself too when you're treated poorly. Speak up for yourself. But this even comes with, you gotta build that up, because it's hard to speak up to yourself, to speak up for yourself. Especially when the entire time you struggle with people pleasing, and it's just hard to say no and what your facts are for yourself. But this is where boundaries come in. Because when someone says something out of pocket about you, or something in front of you, or does something to you, you're going to diminish your confidence because of people pleasing. You're going to diminish your confidence, and you're going to grow insecure because you won't basically be protecting yourself by setting up boundaries. That's why boundaries are important. Now we're going to steady dynamic. Steady and dramatic. Literally, I can't speak English, even though this whole entire thing is in English. But this is what we're talking about. Be consistent. We got it smack dab in the middle. Smack dab in the middle. Be consistent. Consistency builds deeper roots than emotional highs. In order for something to be built long term, you need to be consistent even when you don't want to be. An example, in order to have a better relationship with Christ and understand Him better, we need to be consistent in the Word, even when we don't feel like reading the Bible. Consistency builds deeper roots than emotional highs. So when you have emotional highs and you feel like, oh, I'm feeling great right now, let me read the Bible. But then you don't read the Bible for 2 weeks, and then you go back to reading the Bible because you're at an emotional high. Then you stop again and you don't read it for like a month. Consistency builds deeper roots. You can't build a relationship with Christ if all you do is spend time with Him one time every week, one time a month. I don't know if it's that extravagant for some people. I'm not trying to shame you, not condemning no one. But yeah, be consistent. Be better. Now, the reflection. What rhythm feels sustainable? I want you to choose habits that reduce panic before it rises. An example. One of the best ones, scripture. Scripture. Have scripture that contradicts your feelings and your emotions. Have scripture that contradicts the script that you've been saying over yourself. Have scripture prepared. Now you can go into the workbook, my friend. I'm so excited. Like, this is the last week, bro. We did it.